What's up, everybody? James Gunn has shared new behind-the-scenes photos for his upcoming Superman movie, featuring Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, Edi Gathegi as Mr. Terrific, and María Gabriela de Faría as the engineer. And Alan Ritchson talks about playing Batman in The Brave and the Bold. But before we get started, don't forget to smash that like button, comment below, and subscribe for more content like this. So James Gunn has shared a new photo from the set of Superman to celebrate actor Edi Gathegi's birthday, writing, "Happy birthday to my great friend and great actor Edi Gathegi, who you can see in all his technological glory in Superman in July." I really like when James Gunn shares these behind-the-scenes looks at the making of the movie. Last week he shared a photo of Superman's boots in the snow, and now we have this one that shows a lot more from the set, and there's a lot to talk about here. This appears to capture a moment just before they're about to roll cameras, and James Gunn appears to be blocking out the scene with Edi Gathegi and Rachel Brosnahan, giving them some direction, likely about where he wants them to stand and how he wants them to move in relation to where he's going to be placing the camera. As you may know, Gunn is a real hands-on director, according to the actors that have worked with him, and he has a real vision of how he wants his films to look. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's breaking down what he hopes to accomplish with this scene and why it's so important to the movie. And we're going to talk more about what's going on in the scene and why it's so important. But for now, let's talk about Mr. Terrific. It must be a very warm day because behind him is a man holding an umbrella to block out the sun and what looks to be two small fans to keep him cool in his suit, which must feel like a furnace inside. This is probably the best look we've had of Mr. Terrific's full suit outside of the photos that leaked online when they first began shooting. Like we saw in the trailer, Mr. Terrific wears a black T-mask on his face, which acts as a form of defense that makes him invisible to technology. If we look at his jacket, it's black, white, and red with the words "Fair Play" written on the sleeves. Then we have his pants and boots, which match the colors of his jacket. There has been a lot of talk about the costumes in this movie. A lot of people have criticized them for having a different look than they imagined. But Mr. Terrific's suit is very comic book accurate, and I think it's going to look great in the movie. It's rumored that Mr. Terrific, as well as the other heroes in the movie, with the exception of Superman, work for Maxwell Lord and a company called Stag Industries, which would explain their similar costume designs. What we do know for certain, as confirmed by James Gunn himself, is that Mr. Terrific will play a significant role in the film. Standing next to him is Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. We see that she's also holding a big umbrella and a small portable fan to keep herself cool. She's wearing a white top with a brown jacket, which is a color we've often seen the character wear many times over the years. We've seen it in Superman and Lois, Smallville, and even Lois and Clark back in the day. And from other images we've seen of Lois Lane, we know that some of the outfits that she's going to be wearing in the film are directly inspired by their comic book origins. She's also wearing these kind of throwback green high-water pants, green socks, and brown shoes. Something that hasn't really been talked about in all the Superman coverage is just how much of a throwback costume-wise this movie is going to be. Some of the extras in this movie can be seen wearing clothes that look straight out of the 50s and 60s, and it's been heavily implied that Metropolis as a city will very much have a throwback look. Just like how Gotham tends to look different, more dark, gritty, and gothic in the Batman movies, Metropolis will have its own unique look as well. Now let's talk about this scene and how it plays into the bigger plot of the movie. It's likely that this part of the movie takes place in Boravia, a fictional country in the DC universe that's in crisis in this movie and has troops amassing at the border. Standing behind the actors, we see these tent areas and people dressed in Hawaiian shirts. We see a similar scene in the trailer where Mr. Terrific uses his T-spears to block lasers fired at him and Lois Lane. We can see people dressed in Hawaiian shirts ducking for cover as troops dressed in purple and green power suits, likely working for Lex Luthor, fire at them. In the comics, Lex Luthor often donned a purple and green power suit or battle suit to fight Superman, so we might see him wear that in this film. But we also know the rest of the group works for Lex Luthor. In the first teaser that Gunn released, we see one of them holding a clipboard with a document that reads Luthor Corp. So we definitely know that Lois Lane and Mr. Terrific have uncovered something pretty big here. Gunn also shared a new photo of Venezuelan actress María Gabriela de Faría as the engineer, laying in the grass inside of a stadium, writing "Happy Anniversary to the Engineer," created by Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch, who you can see played to sinister perfection by puppy in human form Gabby de Faría in Superman this July. The engineer is one of the central villains in the movie, who works with Lex Luthor to take down Superman. She's best known in the comics for being part of a team called The Authority, which is kind of a dark version of the Justice League. Gunn is planning to make an Authority movie, but said in his DCU Update interview that it's one of the projects that are still stuck in development. In the photo, we see that she's dressed in an all-black suit and posing for a shot in between filming one of the intense action sequences at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. There's a crew off in the distance working to set up for a major throwdown between her character and Superman. But this location is also where Superman faces off against Ultraman. You may remember this scene in the trailer where the two are flying across the field, locked in a fierce battle. And if you've seen my behind-the-scenes video, then you know that Mr. Terrific and Ultraman will also clash at this stadium. On to some Batman news. Actor Alan Ritchson has been getting a lot of attention lately because of his hit series Reacher. In fact, the second season of Reacher was the most viewed release on Prime Video. I've been a big fan of the series ever since the first season, and season 3 is one of my favorite shows right now. But among the most asked question he gets from fans is not about Reacher, it's about people wanting to know if he's going to be playing Batman. In a recent interview with Wired, he was asked if he's going to be playing Batman. Richardson addressed the rumors by saying, "Would I play Batman? Yes. Would I pay handsomely to be Batman? You wouldn't even have to pay me to be Batman. I would don the suit." He even has the Batman voice down pat, declaring, "Gotham is mine." Then saying, "Look at that, I don't even have to practice, it just comes out naturally." And he really finds this kind of amazing because apparently James Gunn also gets asked this question regularly, so much so that he's addressed it on social media, stating he's not playing Batman. But if you think that's the end of it and fans are going to stop asking questions, they're not. And that's because, let's face it, Alan Ritchson would be amazing as Batman. He's a good actor, he's in peak physical shape, and you wouldn't doubt for a second that he as Batman could absolutely crush any bad guy in a fight. I mean, think about it. Batman is one of the most popular DC characters, and it's because he doesn't have superpowers. He's a guy who fights crime with his fists and in a suit with gadgets. And the more he looks like someone who can actually do that, the more realistic he seems. And Richardson has been very open about wanting to play the character and has talked about why he thinks he would be a good fit. And it's for reasons that might surprise you. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter last year, he shared his admiration for Bruce Wayne's intelligence, ingenuity, and cool cars. "I would love to play Batman," Richardson told The Hollywood Reporter. "Here's the thing about Batman. Do you know what his superpower is? Intelligence. Dude is the smartest superhero there is. He's inventive, he's got all the gadgets, he's super smart. I want to be that guy, and also have a cave with hypercars, sports cars, and motorcycles. I'm into that stuff." As you know, Robert Pattinson currently plays the Dark Knight in Matt Reeves' The Batman. However, the sequel still doesn't have a completed script, and Pattinson's Batman is part of DC Elseworlds, not the shared DCU. James Gunn recently confirmed that Pattinson would not play DCU's Batman, which is kind of disappointing for those hoping that he would continue playing Batman in The Brave and the Bold. Regarding that movie, the story is reportedly shaping up well. Gunn mentioned that he's been especially focused on The Brave and the Bold and didn't rule out the possibility of the character appearing before his standalone film. The director of the film will most likely cast DCU's Batman for The Brave and the Bold. Unfortunately for Reacher fans, that likely won't be Richardson. Still, Richardson admitted that fans continue to want him to play Batman despite Gunn's remarks. For now, those fans who want to see Richardson defeat bad guys will have to stick to watching Reacher on Prime Video. So tell me, what do you think about these behind-the-scenes photos? Are they hyping you up for the film, or were you hoping to see more? And do you think Alan Ritchson should play Batman in The Brave and the Bold? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below because I really want to know what you think. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the Cinema Maverick channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.